like to welcome the Eagan Wildcats. And now for your starting lineups. Starting with Eagan, number 1, Zachary Wolek. Number 2, Ryan Colbert. Number 4, Zachary Merwin. Number 5, Jack Stone. Number 6, Thomas Meisinger. Number 8, Damian Schultz. Number 10, Michael Pavick. Number 20, Benjamin Willery. Number 33, Eli Dalney. And number 55, Soren Thrall. Head coach is Bob Felter. And now for your Irish. Number 2, Evan Geiwitz. Number 3, Trey Turner. Number 7, Luke Majeski. Number 9, Landon Marigold. Number 10, Thomas Gallagher. Number 12, Wesley Dean. Number 23, Austin Lentz. Number 24, Bennett Magnuson. Number 26, Noah Fandrick. And number 27, Evan Lilga. Head coach is Lance Keene. The national anthem was played earlier, so have a great game, gentlemen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ken and Scott. We're coming to you live-ish from Rosemount, Minnesota. Got the help of Eagan TV tonight. Our beloved Wildcats are on the natural grass at Irish Stadium, taking on the Rosemount Irish in tonight's South Suburban Conference matchup. Scott, the Cats have been up and down all around. They're in Rosemount tonight. Quick keys to the game.
Boy, this one's big. The last three are big. We talked about our goals: conference title, section title, state tournament, still in reach. Tonight, minimize mistakes, right? Egan's got to force turnovers, minimize mistakes, and get some really good shots offensively to put some goals in the net. And let's start quick. Not the way to start.
Nope, but clearly a face-off win, so we're off and running as the Cats, as Scott pointed out. Kind of an early shot from Meisinger, who I think may have gotten the face-off win. He's being kind of an annoyance here to a pull for the Irish as they're looking for that touch, and they've got it. Rosemount, hoping to come in here and play well at home. They've had I think we decided they're 3-3 in the conference at this point.
Yeah, they're 5-4 overall, and you start to look at who their losses came to: Minnetonka, Lakeville North, Lakeville South, and Prior Lake. So they came into the season with really high expectations. We're up as high as number 4. Those are 4 pretty quality losses. Now, if you aspire to be one of the elite teams in the state, you probably got to split that, right? You probably got to go 2-2 through that gauntlet. So they've set back. Still a dangerous team. They've got some great players, some people that can score, as you just saw there. That was the senior Thomas, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Pierfist. He is a senior attack, a ton of offense on the year.
For the Irish, number 4, Thomas Purfirst, assisted
29
by
goals,
14,
11 assists.
Noah Burr.
Coming in the game, Thomas Pierfest. Is that how they said it over the PA?
I believe so.
Thomas Pierfest it's going to be, until somebody corrects us.
So it is 1-0 Irish after that quick hitter. That's Zachary Wallach in the goal.
So we got to prevent those quick strikes. And you know what? So people are going to look back at the Benilde game and say, you lost 14-8. We forced a ton of turnovers, and what we talked on Saturday, we kept on talking, was we couldn't convert those opportunities, but against that high-octane offensive team, we forced turnovers. And we scored 8 goals against that goalie and that defense. No one has scored more than 6 against him, so we just couldn't convert our opportunities. So tonight, we got to create those same turnovers and capitalize on some of those opportunities.
Yeah, there's been a kind of a combo platter of ailments for the Cats so far this year. The unforced errors on their part, which were rampant in the Shakopee game, and then we've also, as Scott just pointed out, when we have made big defensive plays, we have not capitalized, and so it's been big save there by Wallach as Merwin collapsed on the Irishman coming in. Wallach clears to Stone. Stone's going to take it up towards the midfield stripe.
Yeah, we like to see that. Again, we capitalize. Got a turnover. Zach Wallach got possession of the ball. Stone runs it up the field, uses that speed, creates a lot of space. he's going to take it right in and fire a shot. It's going to go a little wide. So, again, I like what I saw. We capitalized. We got a scrum, got a ball, quick outlet to Stone, and Stone was on his way up the field. So now capitalization. How do you convert, not turn the ball over, not make errant shots, make some smart plays.
Wilson on top, just entering the box. Takes a shot and a score.
Nice rip. So we've got a little bit of I like that look. That's a nice look for Wilson, coming off that top side and creating space for himself.
Scoring for the
Bit of a
Wildcats,
lineup change
13,
tonight. So there's a
Wilson.
couple things happening. So Tanner Whips is not in the game, so his penalty, for viewers that were with us Saturday, a 3-minute penalty, a variety of things, one of which was targeting. That causes a game ejection and him to miss this game as well, so you won't see him on the field tonight. What Coach Felter has done is, from an attack perspective, move Ben Willery into the attack position to start up there, so we'll have Willery, Schultz, and Colbert. Move Drew Wilson at least temporarily to a midfield position. I think there's something interesting that Drew likes space to work, and you put him up high, put him in that midfield position, he gets a little space to work, and he made the Irish pay in that case.
Pavic took that face-off. I think we're 1 for 3 right now, but that was probably a winnable face-off as we got the ball out of the circle and kicked it around for a bit. Again, maybe not as an egregious of a we didn't capitalize kind of thing, but when that ball isn't a clean win for the opposition, we benefit greatly from trying to scoop some of those up. Irish with the ball, setting up behind the net.
So the Irish have a handful of players that can produce points. We got a flag on the field now that's going to be on Eagan.
Looks like that's slash against, some sort of a slash. It looked pretty lethargic from where I was, but there's a big shot from the top, bounce shot. Came off the goal post.
That was number 18, I believe, Samuel Johnson, the senior midfielder, with the shot. So in addition to Purfeast, Jack Moore, number 19, a senior midfielder, has 17 goals coming in. He'll certainly be a threat and a weapon. 24, Bennett Magnuson, also a senior, 14 goals, 7 assists coming in. So all three of those people certainly can produce. This Irish team is senior laden, lots of experience. Most of these guys were part of a squad last year that went 12-3, lost in the section championship game. So they're back, they're experienced, and they're ready to play. So Eli Dolney picks that up again, creating a turnover and a man down. Now can we do the right thing and kind of kill it off?
Well, protecting the ball is something. I was talking to one of our production crew members in the bleachers while we were watching the JV game, and we have not done a good job of protecting the ball on the last several games at different points all season. But clearly, when you're a man down and you intercept a pass or pick up an errant shot, slowing things down and getting rid of that penalty is paramount.
Yeah, and like what I'm seeing, to exactly what you said, Ken, we're not trying to do anything silly. Well, we weren't trying, but the ball snuck out there.
Sometimes things happen. Looks like this penalty is just about over.
So we had the right idea, just be conservative, play catch, and again, just a little, ball slipped down. We're back at even strength here.
Rosemount setting up their offense. 7:45 remaining quarter one apiece, Irish and the Wildcats here in Rosemount tonight.
So again, in some ways, this team is a little bit like the Cats. They have, they've got their probably 2-3 main threats, but they go 6 deep with guys that can put the ball in the net and produce on a regular basis, kind of similar to what we have been seeing with the Cats. So.
Kind of a potpourri of things over there. It looks like the ball had come loose down by the goal. Zach Wallach, our goaltender, had picked it up, cleared it to Gallus, who ran out of real estate with the sideline, and an Irishman in front of him. Ball came down on the ground, and the Irish do regain possession. Time of possession a little bit in favor of the Irish, I think, at this point, as that ball hits the ground. Jack Stone, who picks him up and puts him down quickly, is going to get the mid-stripe here.
Oh, I thought Jack was going to get by him. Number 7 for the Irish, that was Luke Majewski. He outweighs. You can see he's physically a little bigger than Stone. It looked like Stone was going to bounce right off him, but there just wasn't enough room. Oh, nice stop there. Purfeast tried to make a nifty little move. And those sort of backhanded things look great if they work, but in most cases they don't. It was kind of the only option he had at that point. So.
Right. He did make a nice move to the net, though, to get himself a shot, and he clearly could have put that in the net. So nice job.
And a flag's going to come out for a push after the fact. So, this is they're moving the ball around kind of quick. This is looking a little. I'm not suggesting we're going to have a second quarter Lakeville South situation here, but they're moving the ball really quickly, and they're able to get some opportunities and force the Wildcats into some mistakes. So we got to shore that up just a little bit. But again, I think you mentioned a moment ago, time of possession is way tipped in Rosemount's favor. We've had one really, I think, probably 1.5 kind of quality possessions. I bet, again, maybe a minute in their end, and we're almost 6 minutes into the first quarter. So feels like there's a broken record going on here.
2-1 Irish with 6:18 remaining first quarter. Cats on their second man down. Killed off the first one. Kind of an opportunistic possession, and they held it. A good chunk of our possession time came on the man down there. So man down defense in effect, and the perimeter game also in effect for the Irish.
Look at how quickly they're moving the ball around. I mean, Benilde did that to us, and again, these guys all watch tape, right? And the faster you zip that ball around, it's what Lakeville South did in that second quarter against us. It's what Eastridge was doing, for a better part of the second and third quarter against us. That quick whipping that ball around, and it creates some problems.
Oh, off the post.
That is going to be, it should be a blue ball. Nope, it's not. It must have went off one of our guys. I thought it hit the post and
looked like
went out
it
of bounds.
Did. Okay, so
maybe it touched Wallach or touched one of our defenders as it bounced back. I don't know. So again, and as they, again, we're in a man down, but that quick ball movement, that fast movement around the perimeter, that's okay if the time of possession is 50-50 and your defense has a chance to recover. When it's 75-25 or 80-20 or 85-15, the defense gets tired. Yeah. And it gets harder and harder to move.
And the only advantage to when it's happening on a man down, I mean, there are some pulls in there in that man down defense that aren't out there enough to, so much that they're feeling the brunt of that time of possession tip when we're not on the man down. But no, clearly that'll wear you out in addition to just being out there so much more, or on the job, if you will. Maybe a missed opportunity there for that Irish, as he may have let that go just a little bit to the left of the goaltender.
Yeah, I think
he had a good look.
I think Eli Dolney kind of forced him into a little bit of a tricky situation. Okay, there. Again,
good opportunity with the sun.
Error.
Well, the sun, I think, got right in his eyes. So it looks like Meekin had picked it up, but they're going to turn it back over to Rosemount.
I'm not sure what the
there's some sort of a sun rule in Rosemount here, because I don't know that I'm aware of why that ball would turn back over.
I know.
Wasn't fair, I think, that the sun was in his eyes. 5 minutes remaining, quarter one, 2-1 Irish. Both teams back at full strength.
So what I think Eagan can do is, Rosemount's going to try to be faster, but Eagan's shown they can force some turnovers and disrupt that play, and that's what they're going to have to do. And we simply, have to be a little bit more deliberate on offense when we get those chances, because we're not getting them on face-offs, so we have to make defensive stands in lieu of those face-off opportunities that we may not be getting.
Colby Sorensen trying to put up a little bit of defense. A high pass hauled in by number 4 for the Irish as he works his way around the net. Nowhere to go. Working again. Oh,
wow. He just lofted that in. So I think what we're seeing here is when Perfries gets the ball, he's going to the net. Again, he's a scorer, but we know that now. And again, similar, we talked about that at Shakopee. A couple of their guys, they get the ball, they're going to the net. They're not passing. There's no chance they're going to pass. And what we're seeing tonight from Pierfeast is he's just going to get it, and he's going to drive around and try and push his way into the net.
In his career. Congratulations.
3-1. They may have just may have been a significant goal.
I think I heard 100th career goal.
Pretty impressive.
They're our rival, but great accomplishment for Pierfeast. That's a tremendous number to get to in high school. If you play 14, 15, 16 games a year, and you probably don't start playing until you're a sophomore, those are some pretty good numbers.
Absolutely. 3-1 Irish here at Irish Stadium. 4:21 remaining quarter one. Cats a little slow out of the blocks. A couple of man down situations. Some time of possession issues. Kind of a rare face-off win. That's Wyatt Bucky still fighting for it.
Timeout,
Eagan timeout.
So there we kind of had a delay, or we got a little sort of a kind of a win there. We got it picked up and had to use a timeout. That's okay, all right.
Well, you do what you got to do. We have
Yeah.
not quite fully fixed that issue in our game right now. We've made concerted efforts. There's a few new faces in the circle occasionally, and it's not 100% contributory to the time of possession problems that we're having. It's not helping matters, but it is clearly not. It's not the biggest fish in the boat right now. We've got other things to do, and taking care of the ball, being smart when we have possession, and taking quality shots. Those are things that would serve us every bit as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, and given the situation is the situation, and we're at game 11, and I think we both want to believe, Ken, that somehow the switch is going to flip magically and it's going to all go away. And I don't know. We're at game 11. I want to believe that there's still an opportunity. We're in the first quarter, right? Yeah, first quarter. We've got two and 3/4 regular season games left, some section playoff games, but we're running out of time.
Yeah, clearly, and it's like you said, and we've talked about, we've got ample opportunity to still hit the goals that we may have laid out before the season started. The biggest one is really just peak at the right time. Be ready for the section tournament. Go in there as good a seed as you can be, and do the best job you can do to try to fire on as many cylinders as you can. And that's where these games, every one of them, the Burnsvilles, the Benildes, all of those games are very, very important. Raider from Stone. Raiders looking for the touch.
That's okay. Drew
Wilson does not get the touch. It just missed it.
So again, we can't put all the pieces together. We win a face-off. We have to call a timeout, and we can't get the ball into the box for possession. So again, it's one of those. We talked about this Saturday. You forced a turnover. You somehow managed to win a face-off, and you couldn't capitalize on that. And by capitalize, I don't mean we're not going to score on every single possession, but can we get a quality shot?
Yep, and take care of the clock in doing so.
We need to give our defense a break right now.
Yeah, nice sustained possession down there. Whether a goal is scored or not would do wonders just to kind of give the defense and the goaltender a little time off. So 3:13 remaining, 3-1 Irish here at Irish Stadium. Wildcats defending the south goal here at Irish Stadium, right on the side of the road here on Highway 3 in Rosemount. Lights are on, sun is setting. Field is nearly covered in shade.
Ooh, Pierfeast was kind of alone there on the backside of the post. Fortunately, that pass sailed a little.
Yeah, going to be a turnover, which is
right.
Nice. We've talked about this all year at different intervals, and the defense is kind of in and out relative to a physical style of play, and it would be really nice if we could kind of go that route and try to let people know that we're there. Now, we're saying that in light of the fact that we just had a targeting penalty called against us in our last outing, which is a little subjective for me. We reviewed that a number of times, and it was clearly a pretty good lick. But, we've also talked in the box here about how it's harder to Jack Stone with it looks like a goal there for a moment.
I thought that had rolled in. The referee certainly in better position than either of us. Boy, that field is like rock.
Yeah, you
hard.
can really
hear it.
You can hear him clomping. It sounds like Canterbury Downs.
Yeah, it does. It's like, wow, that is. It rained a couple days ago, didn't it?
So, back to the conversation about the physicality, we talked about how it's easier for officials to make a call to protect the athlete than to make a no call if there's any doubt that maybe it was a callable hit. So, big save there by the Rosemount goaltender on.
It was on, I think, Gibson's shot.
Gibson shot from the top. Pretty quality shot. And
okay, we forced it out. Going to be a push.
Of course. And a flag, apparently, for maybe conduct on top of it,
wow,
possibly.
So what was the push came first. That was the first call, and then the flag came out.
So a situation, I think, where the Rosemount player just got out over the tips of his skis, and I don't know that he may have been helped along a little bit, but it is lacrosse.
Well, it looks like Eagan has the ball, so I wonder if number looks like that's number 23 sitting down. Austin Lentz.
So he may have gotten the conduct.
Deep ball. I wonder, There was clearly a hand signal for a push and then a delay, and something happened and the flag came out. So we were assuming it was going to be some kind of a violation on Eagan.
So this is one of those situations, Scott, where things were kind of going back and forth for a second as far as, are we penalized, are we turning it over? Can the Cats put a goal and kind of get back in this?
Yeah, our man down opportunities on Saturday were, not very fruitful. We had possession, and within 10, 15 seconds, we turned the ball over, made an unforced error. So can we get a good look? Boy, it's like a repeat of Saturday. I don't want to call that a mishandled pass. I think it might have been a little behind. Neither here nor there. Our man down situation is going to kind of go up in smoke here. Again, similar to what was happening on Saturday.
So Rosemount sets up after getting the touch. Nifty move there by number 11 for the Irish. Really nice move there around the midfield stripe as the Irish are behind the net here, trying to set something up. Little tap. Ball did hit the ground, I think, courtesy of Thralls, and then a really wise timeout by the Irish as they're just about ready to get boxed in back there.
Yeah, and I think it's a good timeout. 40 seconds left in the quarter. You drop a play here. You've got possession. You run the clock down, drop a play, right? I think that's kind of what the Rosemount coach is going to be talking about. And, I think the Eagan coach are like, guys, we can create turnovers. We got to capitalize, right, particularly on that man-up situation. We didn't get a shot off there, and that was in 2 of our 3 man-up situations on Saturday. We didn't get shots off. It's tough, right? It's tough.
Well, and in game situations, we've been playing from behind. We've been playing under less than perfect, scenarios. We get to be pushing a little bit, to be pressing a little bit. And I think as far as the season's concerned, even if we were up in this game, I still think it's a possibility where we might be pressing a little bit. Clearly the season has had its ups and downs, and whether we're in this game, which we clearly are right now, but whether we're up or whether it's tied or whether we're down by 4 or 5, I still feel like a sense of that the team wants to force. And so they were working that perimeter on that man up, but then they looked inside. Probably an open recipient for the pass, et cetera, But, I still feel like there's guys, just breathe and do what you've done, for the last 6, 7, 8 years that we've been watching these guys play lacrosse.
Yeah, so it feels like they've lost their mojo a little bit, and I'm going to go back to the Shakopee game. It was like I think when we walked away from the North game, it was a week and a half ago, Monday night, we're like, all right, we're ready to roll. This is where we get going. That was a huge win, a season-defining win, right? Again, I think there was an expectation that we were going to win that game, but it was the fashion that the game played out in, right?
Sure.
And it's like, okay, we're on our way. And then the switch went off on Thursday night. And, I thought we did some things good Saturday, which a lot of people are probably like, Scott, what are you talking about?
Right.
What are you – it's like, yeah, there's some good things there. Hey, great stick out by Jack there to disrupt that pass. And I thought Eli was going to pick up the ground, but he still does. So great. Again,
10 seconds.
We can force defensive turnovers against a high quality offensive opponent. Ooh, big catch there by the Rosemount goalie.
Yeah,
I
for
thought
sure.
Schultz was going to come down with that and be able to toss it in. So I don't know. We can force some turnovers, but how to get that momentum back, from that Lakeville North win 10 days ago. So. Let's do senior spotlight.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we got to do 2 of them tonight.
We'll do 2 senior spotlights tonight. It's end of 1, 3-1 Irish, and Scott's going to take us through 2, a doubleheader for senior spotlight.
Yeah, I'll do 1 now, and then I'll do 1 after the third quarter, so they each get their turn. So the first one we're going to do tonight, Joey Gallus, an LSM for the Wildcats. He's been on the varsity team for 3 years. Had an opportunity to be a part of that 2017 state championship team. In fact, he lists that as his most memorable Lax moment, which makes perfect sense. That was certainly a fun season and a fun run, and he had an opportunity to, even as a sophomore, to contribute a little bit to that squad. So his parents are Paul and Betsy. Dad Paul, of course, ran the camera for this operation last year. He's done a number of things at Eagan High School, one-act play, done some intramural basketball. We've heard that before, and football as well. So nice, well-rounded contributions at Eagan High School. He is going to attend the University of Minnesota next year, so that is outstanding. And again, just a solid quality LSM. I think sometimes they go unnoticed about the contributions they make, and You don't hear us calling his name because he's scoring goals or because he's making a big hit, but he just comes out and he plays and he does what he's supposed to do, picking up ground balls, being in position, battling for faceoffs every game, every day, every play. And as a coach, there's nothing more that you can ask of a player. So truly some great contributions to the Eagan Lacrosse program at varsity over the last 3 years, and of course to JV as a ninth grader. So great things for Joey Gals. He's done here. His career not over yet. We got a few more games, but want to thank him for his contributions and wish him the best of luck as he heads to the University of Minnesota in the fall.
Right on. Good luck, Joey, and thanks for your service. All right, folks. 12 minutes on the clock. 3-1 Irish as they flip ends. Wildcats defending the north goal. Didn't catch the number in the circle. Looks like it's going to be the freshman, Patrick Ryman, with a face-off win.
Well, we got a clean face-off.
We got a real clean face-off win.
Wow, that is fantastic.
Back
now,
to Gibson for the touch, and
how big would it be here to get a goal, to say, hey, we had a sequence where we won a face-off clean, we got down, set up, ran our offense, and converted a goal. That would be like, that's right. That's what we need right now.
Colby Sorensen up top, my bad, from Ryman after the clean win over to Ryan Colbert. And it's little things like that, believe it or not. I mean, it might sound silly.
It's a turnover.
Ball kind of choked out, but again, kind of Johnny on the spot there, number 14.
It's going to be a push against
for
the
Wildcats. All right, a little turnover here. And again, it might sound silly that we're talking about momentum building based on face-off wins, but that was a really impressive win.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen a lot of them as the Irish get a little careless with the ball and really around the wrong guy, too, as Meisinger tips it forward to number 14 for the Cats.
It's Jack Hintermeister.
Hintermeister kind of lost it out of bounds there. It looks like it's going to be a turnover.
So, again, great news on the face-off win, but a turnover as we were dodging, and then another turnover after we'd got possession back. We can't afford to lose those, just as we couldn't afford to do that on Saturday against Benilde.
No, exactly. And again, too, these unforced, situations and just not being cognizant of the fact that we have to kind of try to balance the time of possession situation. Unfortunate as Rosemount trying to get up front.
So, again, it's the same play that he's done twice now. It's Pierfeast again. He gets the ball behind the net, and he's going to sneak in behind the goal and try to backhand flip it or get some kind of movement of the wrists, and we know what he's going to do, I think.
Yeah, there was no surprises there. Once he made his move to the goaltender's, to the right side of the goal as he's facing out, he just got a step and in goes the goal.
Yeah,
so
he did. He's
4-1 Irish.
Is that his second or third goal of the game?
I think it's his second of the game, I believe.
He scored the first one. And no, it's his third, I believe.
Okay, I'm guessing
because he scored the first one, then the second one was his 100th goal.
Number 100. So Ryman, I'm guessing, back in the circle, from what I can see from here, kind of a lengthier clamp. And it is Ryman who.
Hey, that's okay. That's 2 wins in a row. That's fantastic. We'll take that.
Did a nice job. Meekin, one of the team's better athletes, kind of Johnny on the spot, getting the touch. Kind of shook a defender loose, and he's looking. Goes behind the net to Damian Schultz. Cats will set up again. They're down 4-1 now. So right about this point, you start to say, guys, a goal either way can really kind of start to define the first half.
It can, absolutely. And, you're never 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 aren't safe in lacrosse. But the way that the game is playing out, it's like, that could start laying the groundwork for the rest of the game.
Clearly, in addition to the fact that we have not possessed the ball a whole lot. And again, too, looks like Schultz going to play catch with himself a little bit, does recover up to Meekin. Oh, that's number 20, Willery. Nifty move to clear some space and then looks inside for a quick bullet of a
by
shot.
Gibson.
Yeah, that was a great shot
that was
by Gibson.
Good feed by Willery to find the open man. We're having luck when we're in the interior.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
That's working for us. That worked against Benilde. It even worked a little bit against Shakopee, right? And it's the recipe for our success. They're playing us pretty tight and aggressively, so let's get those openings and make things happen. 4-2 looks a lot better than 4-1, right?
Absolutely. And Willery, he cleared some space for himself, and instead of taking the shot, which was at an angle that maybe would have been tough to defend, he did see Gibson right inside there. And like you pointed out, Scott, we've had luck inside. So is 3 times the charm here, the lucky charm, if you will, and it looks like it is.
Get it.
Ryman comes up clean, and he's gaining space and the touch. He's going to pull out and dumps it over. Oh, Colbert just could not dive for that long enough. And again, too, the freshman with a great face-off win. Hart probably just pounding away.
Yeah, running up the field like, oh, I got to do something. Because, he's probably not the guy you want heading up. He's a face-off specialist right now, and he just, maybe got rid of the goal a little too. Again, that's okay. It's part of the learning process.
Well, clearly, we'll take the face-off win and just say, I'm sure on the sideline right now they're talking to him. Looks like Felter's talking to him saying, hey, great job. Just slow it down a little bit. You did well, son. And he'll be out there after we score this next one to try it again and go for his 4th face-off win in a row.
Aside from probably the Apple Valley game and maybe the Burnsville game, which I'm going to set those aside for a moment, is that the first time we've won 3 face-offs in a row this year?
I would almost venture to say that it has to be. We've just been struggling in that department.
And again, we're not asking the world of Ryman or whoever. We're saying, can we win 40? Can we win 35? 35 would even be like at this point.
Would be wonderful.
Yeah, but can we get to 40? 45 would change the dynamic of what's happening with this team.
So Rosemount kind of moving the ball around somewhat effectively. They got it on the ground. They had to kind of retrieve it before it hit the midfield stripe, but now they're back on it just outside the box and working it. Cat's got a nice defense, sticks up, kind of set up there. And again, too, I think we've been vulnerable to that X-Man kind of running around the back of the net. So let's see if someone can, kind of abate his progress if, in fact, they go that route again.
There he is. He's just kind of parking himself back there. And
here it comes. And this is right about how it begins, but he's going to bring it up front.
Yeah, it puts Dolney's in a tough spot because he's got 2 guys to watch over there. I mean, I saw his head swivel, and his head was on a pivot.
Nope, didn't go. It didn't look like it. Yeah.
Oh, too bad we couldn't get that one back.
The last time the ball hit the ground like it did just there, Gallus showed some really impressive speed as he just about got into between 2 Rosemount players to scoop the ground ball here. 7:37 remaining, quarter 2, 4-2 Irish after a 3 consecutive face-off wins by the Wildcats, and we did score the last goal. Possession, a little bounce shot that went over, going to be a Rosemount ball.
A bounce shot on this field is going to go up through the goalposts. They're the football goalposts like it just did, because, again, we can hear it when the players are running by. It's like rock hard. Yeah, you got it. Like that was good. That was pretty good defense. Just a nice shot there.
Well, that was actually
Jack Morin, the senior midfielder.
Yeah, that was tough because kind of that same X-Man thing coming up. Donley collapsed on him. The guy kind of wiggled through. Donley got help from behind from number 4. A big save, but we couldn't take care of the rebound.
Right.
And it just kind of happened real quickly.
And the risk of, again, what the advantage that this Rosemount team brings is if you gotta manage Purefeast down there, but if you don't, you leave a couple other guys open. We've run into some teams this year, Lakeville South, Eastridge, Benilde, of course, where they have multiple weapons, and you stop one, you can't stop the other. And earlier in the season, we were talking about, well, how do you defend Eagan? There's so many people who can score. As the season's the season's gone on here, we're not getting as much production because we don't have the ball as much. We're not spending a lot of time in our own end, or in the opponent's end.
Kind of a fast hitter, really super unfortunate as
the Irish, number 2,
as Gallus just missed the ground ball after the face-off. And that's unfortunate. It almost looked like he kind of favored one of his wrists when he was getting up. He landed a little awkwardly, but that ball turned into a real kind of a fast break for the Irish as they go up 6-2 with 7:02 remaining, quarter 2. And for all intents and purposes, it's kind of been all Irish.
Yeah, it has. I mean, short of Ryman's 3 face-off wins there, we haven't been able to get much accomplished, and even off of his face-off wins, we haven't been able to get much accomplished. And my concern here, Ken, is Rosemount gets another goal or 2. I think this game's over, and I would be gravely concerned about the next 2 games and the ability to perform in the section playoffs, right?
Yeah.
And I know we're trying to be positive. We're trying to the glass is half full, but the Wildcats' mojo is gone. It's zapped. The switch is off.
No, they clearly look flat right now. I mean, there's a few guys that have some bounce in their step, but I mean, all you have to do is just kind of direct your attention to the north end of the stadium and understand that against a fairly pedestrian Rosemount team, they've taken their losses against fairly good clubs. They're not a top 4, 5, 6 team in the state, and we are kind of getting handled like we are playing a team that is markedly superior to us, and this is a more even matchup for us, given how we've got some woes in the circle and some woes taking care of the ball. So
I mean, this is a team that beat Farmington by 5 goals. We beat them by 16, 17.
Yeah,
I mean, and you know, it's hard to make those comparisons, but you know, a team that lost to Lakeville North, you know, they won pretty handily against Kennedy and Jefferson. But yeah, not to take anything away from what the Irish have done this year. Done some good things, got some nice players, but they're not, like Ken said, I don't think they're any lead, a top 4, a top 5 kind of team. And, you know, those teams are Benilde, Minnetonka, Stillwater, and then, you know, maybe a Prior Lake, right? Eastridge is probably saying, hey, what about us? Eden Prairie, what about us? But it doesn't quite feel like Rosemount's quite in that group of teams.
No,
right now.
I don't think anybody would argue that they are. And we are on their home field, and you know, they're catching us at just the right time. And that time, unfortunately, might be the 2019 season, because we've just been all over the place. We've had flashes of brilliance, but you know, some of our strongest play has come against teams that we should walk out with a double-digit win over. So I think we've put those times to good use in trying to execute, but we've looked a little bit rougher on the edges as Rosemount is working a little bit of a perimeter game here with 6:37 remaining quarter 2. They've got a 4-goal lead at 6-2. This is that guy right here.
Tom Pierfeast,
and he's finding his way around that outside of the net. And that one was just to the left of the goaltender, Zach Wallach.
So we've been able to contain him a couple times there by using those long poles, getting his stick tied up, getting it wrapped around his shoulders. The key, though, what I think that was Rader, he didn't let him get in 2 feet from the net or 2 feet from the crease. He had forced him outside a little bit, and it gives the pole a little bit more leverage and a little more room to work.
Again, this is just kind of a real methodical shot, goes just to the wide of the net. Rosemount will maintain possession, but boy, I tell you, time of possession is just piling up in favor of the Rosemount Irish.
Yeah, I mean, do you think we're 80-20, or is it more like 85-50? I don't know. I just feel like we maybe have been down in Rosemount's end 2 minutes maybe.
Yeah, we're clearly, and again, too, we've had our opportunities, but we do cut them short. Some tenacious defense in the middle there. Looks like Thrall comes up with it. Oh! And there's Zach Wallach. He just rode that kid out. That was a goal waiting to happen, and this is Wallach. He's taking this to the stripe, I would imagine.
You know, Wallach.
Yeah, good call there. I mean, he had
to get rid of it, and now we're going back the other way.
And a flag.
There's going to be a penalty, I think, on Eagan.
You know, it looks like it's going to be some sort of a push or a hit, and the flags have not been tucked too deeply in the pockets of the referees tonight. I don't have an opinion on that. Can you tell?
No, not at all.
It's a physical game, and I oftentimes wish that within the confines of the rules, the kids could actually play the game in that capacity. But depending on where you are and what night it is, there's a variety of interpretations as the Cats will go man down again here.
You know, it feels a little bit, you know, sometimes for the players on the team that do some club play and you get out east or in different parts of the country, that the play tends to be a little more physical. And I'm not talking goonish, I'm not talking about head hunting, but the body checking's allowed a little bit more. It's kind of a part of the game. And sometimes when you come back to Minnesota, the calls are made a little. Hey, that's a great pick off there by, was that
Meisinger.
Meisinger, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, just a little bit high there. Is it going to slow down? No, of course it's not going to slow down.
Well, and you know, that's just kind of part of the luck that we've had, if you will, is that, you know, we have, and Meisinger's been all over the field all season with those types of plays. But when it's raining, it's pouring. And great play, looking for that clearing pass, and it gets hung up in your stick just a little bit too long, and it's a turnover in the other direction.
Yeah, and it's again, you're inches away from connecting on a pass like that. And you get it's a fast break.
4:40 remaining in quarter number 2, 6-2 Irish, and the Cats could really use a goal here. They're still a man down. So that's another, and that's, I guess, a point that escaped me. We're a man down.
Right.
There's no reason probably to force the issue once you get possession back. Big save by
Wallach. Yep, that's great.
He's looking. He does find Gallus, who stumbles his way out of the box. He's going to take the stripe, and he had to launch it.
That's a push. That's a push, right? What?
Gosh, that is just, we don't want to get too, I mean, clearly we.
Boy, didn't it look like he pushed him from behind with his hands? Like he opened up his palms and pushed him?
I wouldn't have been surprised in the least if that would have been a push, and we would have gotten possession. So we'll leave it at that as we're back to full strength.
And the other question, and again, the referee was in position on the field, but did the ball leave his stick before his feet slid out of bounds?
That's probably
true. Boy,
true.
That playing surface down there is absolutely horrible.
Yeah, you don't want to lay yourself out if you don't have to. I mean, it's safer to dive to your car in the parking lot than to play on this Rosemount Irish Stadium grass right now. So it's 3:40 remaining. We're down a 4-goal deficit, 6-2 Rosemount here in the second.
So again, we turnover, couldn't quite make the connection to get it out. A lost opportunity there.
Yeah, and I mean, he was running out of real estate. And so it was one of them situations where you got to kind of launch it, just like when Wallach took it up, ran out of time and space, and he had to just kind of throw it down there as well. Meisinger up top, marked up on number 2 for the Rosemount Irish. And Meisinger's been all over the field, like we said, all season long. So if someone can create a turnover, it's been Tommy Meisinger, and he's about ready to get himself a ground ball here. He stays in position well, he moves really well, and that long stick helps him tremendously at the LSM.
Yeah, it certainly, he just mitigated right there. What you saw is he mitigated a high-risk situation. Number 2, Evan Guyowitz, he was looking to charge right in and have a lot open field. Meisinger kept the feet moving, kept his body low, got his stick out there, and forced him to the perimeter of the field. And Guyowitz had to just put the ball down in the corner. It was a great play. That doesn't get measured in a statistic anywhere, but that should go to the Wildcats. But yeah, there's no statistic that says you stopped a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
But that's valuable, right?
Absolutely. No, that's kind of more of that field presence and kind of a scary pass there up to Wyatt Bucky, who gets it up to Schultz, whose name we have not called a whole lot tonight. We'd like to see him get involved a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think for his name to get called, we have to have some possession.
Yeah,
right?
I would. Yeah,
and
that's.
I mean, you start all the lack of production by the Eagan offense. When you're in a 48-minute game, if you only have 6 or 8 minutes to get it done, and I don't know what the exact. I bet the Benilde game, I bet we had it maybe 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, we put in 8 goals.
Yep, right.
What if it had been 20 and we still would have been in a deficit for the game? We could have won the darn game.
Yeah,
right?
no, and again, too, we've talked about how we haven't helped ourselves as Stone's looking for space. We haven't helped ourselves with regard to that. He's able to take a knee but hang on. He finds what I believe is Gibson over out there and finds Schultz goes behind the net. Yeah, it's a serious footing issue on this possession. It's almost like big save. It wasn't his most difficult stop of the night. Cats are looking a little flat-footed as they're trying to get back.
It's a good possession, right? I mean,
clearly.
Yeah, I mean,
and a turnover.
That's a good possession.
Yeah, and again, too, it's about minutes right now. Speaking of, we're 1:09 remaining first half, 6-2 Irish.
This is, I think it's a 4-goal game right now. You need one right now. You really do. Everybody on this field right now is capable of putting a ball in the net and creating offense individually or within a group context. We need one here.
Yeah, it'd be nice to kind of almost look like the Cats of earlier in the season as Willery putting some moves over to just got his stick checked out of his hand. And Schultz is not going to give up as this guy's running into a host on the he's got a number. I can't catch the full number there as the Irish are breaking in.
Hey, nice. That was Tommy Meisinger there.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere to kind of break that up.
Streaking back down the backside of the field and took away a scoring opportunity.
25 seconds here for the Wildcats as Jack Stone takes the mid-stripe and looks. They'd be well advised with 20 seconds remaining to find a quality shot. And there we go. And goal.
There we go. Okay, that looks like the Wildcats that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, I mean, actually, you almost harken back to when it's like almost like a get open in Sandlot football. Looked like it was Stone to Schultz to Willery.
So I remember back pre-Shakopee, we saw a lot of those cross-field pass, high, down low to the attack, convert. It's tough to defend that. We saw a ton of that earlier in the year, and that's been gone the last two and a half games.
Well, and I'll tell you something that does not help us establish that rhythm is the fact that we can't get into a rhythm, and we've had a hard time protecting the ball. And those are precision passes.
Yep.
They're through traffic. They're across the field. They're diagonal. They got the goaltender. Looks like there's a little bit of a
okay, we're going to get one last shot here.
10 seconds.
How big would this be? 10 seconds is plenty of time to make something happen.
One of our purest athletes, Meakin, lost the ball, and that's unfortunate, and that's going to about do it for the first half here in Rosemount, as the Cats did have one last chance to get something done in the second quarter. So we'll put 10 minutes on the clock for halftime. Real quickly, Scott, we're going to the locker room. What do you think we need to do to kind of tune this up and give us a chance in the second half?
This is going to be a little subjective, but I think this is a point as a coach. You look your players in the eyes and like, gut check time, guys. I'm not going to tell you anything tactical. I'm not going to tell you anything from a skills perspective or technique. It's a gut check. All of you need to look yourselves in the mirror and come out here and play with some emotion and play like this matters. You're calling your players out, and there's 2.5 games left in the season, and we're down 6-3, and a loss here takes away that conference championship in all likelihood, right? It jeopardizes a section seeding. It's time now. You got to call your players out and say, guys, this is it.
No, I think we know the level of talent on this team, so I think that's a brilliant assessment of where we're at in the season. So with that, Cats are down 6-3 in Rosemount. We're going to shut her down for about 9 minutes. We'll come back. This is ETV and Scott and Ken and Eagan with Eagan in Rosemount tonight. Talk to you in a little bit. That's a really great take on what. right, ladies and gentlemen, halftime is in the books, and we're coming back at you here. This is Ken. I got Scott to my immediate left. We've got Jesse and Rich and Kevin and a few other folks with us in spirit. Eagan TV is doing all of our technical stuff tonight, and we're coming at you here from Rosemount and the Irish Stadium, where our beloved Wildcats are in a South Suburban Conference clash with the Irish from Rosemount. We're down 6-3, third quarter about ready to go, coming out of halftime. Scott, what went on down there between the goalposts? What was the conversation on the blue end of the field?
You know, I've never coached lacrosse. I've coached some other sports, and I think you got to talk about energy, momentum, passion, drive to win, making it happen, and just having that grit to say, we got to claw our way back into this game. And you know, our season's a little bit on the line right here. We need to see some gumption, some passion, some energy that we're just, haven't seen a lot of tonight. And I'm not criticizing the players' efforts. I'm not saying they're not trying. That's not it. It's just that mojo's not quite there, and we got to find a way to get it back. And I think that's what the conversation is. I don't think there's probably a lot of adjustments per se. We're forcing turnovers.
Nice job.
Yep.
There you go.
There
That's what we need right there.
And, hey, it's little things like that that can start to change the momentum in a game. And, Rosemount built kind of a quick lead, and they've kind of maintained that. So it's going to be something small and building on a bunch of small things that can help get us back in this contest.
So that was a really quick exchange, and it could result in a goal,
go.
and it did. So you got Merwin with the turnover behind the Eagan net. Donley, Merwin back to Steele to Donley, up to Meisinger, the sure hands. I think he hit Stone, who fed Colbert with the goal. 6-4 with a quick hitter here in the early third quarter.
Again, little thing, a hustle play, forcing a turnover where the defender or where the offensive player for Russell wasn't expecting it. Bam, 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 running goal conversion.
Yeah, very rhythmic as far as the clicking of the passes as we took the midfield stripe and in for the goal. Colbert with the big goal, 6-4 Irish, and that's Pavic in the middle taking a face-off here. We did see the freshman Patrick Ryman in the second quarter had some luck, and this could be another.
Hey, we'll take a scrum.
And I never quite understand why we're getting the gyp job on some of these deals, but Irish ball as they're setting up. They haven't gotten their touch yet, but now they do in kind of a little unabated run there. But
I think Gibson lost his footing. Was that Gibson? Yeah, he just lost his footing. This field is
Colbert looking. He had no one to pass to, so he slows it down. He'll find Willery, who couldn't quite connect. Back to Colbert. Cats should have their possession, and they're going to set up. And now there'd be a good time to go back to what we talked about, try to tip the scales of justice in the form of the time of possession in our favor. Be selective. Wilson behind the net to, I believe, Schultz from the looks of his physicality.
Yeah, gotta like the hands, right? The hands, the physicality, the field presence, the presence of mind to pull back.
Well, we talked earlier. He's one of those guys that works great in tight spaces. Him, yeah. Willery, and a few others. So we've got a couple of guys out there that Colbert, another one that are tight space specialists. As Stone's looking, and a quick goal.
There we go. Nice job, Stone off the right side, just slams it in. See, we had 1, 2, 3 bodies parked right out in front of the goalie, just causing a ruckus in front of the net, opening up some space, and a nice finish by Jack Stone.
Well, we've shown that if we plant guys around the crease, we will pass the ball to them.
Yep.
So I'm sure the Poles and the goalie are going, okay, is this guy going to shoot? Is he going to dump it off inside? 6-5 Irish. A couple of quick goals by the Wildcats, 10-15 remaining. Pavic in the circle for this face-off.
So, again, let's see if we can get a win here. Again, we'll take a scrum. We just don't want clean face-off wins by the other team. Get a scrum. Let our LSMs, whether it's Gallus or Meisinger and Jack Stone with his speed, get in there and try and battle for the ball. Of course, it goes to Rosemount.
Yeah, we had I think there was a little bit of I think the referee in the center kind of flinched, and he kind of drew Meisinger over the line.
Yeah, get out. Hey, we can't be letting an LSM run around the field there.
A little turnover. That failure to advance?
I don't know. It didn't seem like.
No, it did not. It seemed like it was kind of quick. But that's Stone who's going to take the midfield stripe and get the touch here in about 1 second. just under 10 minutes, 1-goal game here. Cats are going to set up and hopefully, again, just kind of slow things down and kind of look for that opportunity. Gibson up top, looking.
Smart move. He was looking for the shot. It wasn't there. He pulled back. That's a smart move. You don't want to shoot it into the goalie's stick, right?
Colbert to Schultz, up to Meakin. No, it's not Meakin.
That's
number
Wilson.
13, Wilson. Back up top. Some good things could happen. Oh, Gibby getting a little tied up there. Takes it way back up top again. Again, there's no shot clock, as we've pointed out a number of times, and I think we almost forget that sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it was new to the college game this year, an 80-second shot clock. It changes the game a little bit. Not happening here in high school, so we can take our time.
Meakin with a dump to Gibson, who took the shot. Saved by the goaltender, the Rosemount goaltender. Probably not his most difficult stop of the night.
No, but again, I don't have an issue with the possession. We had the ball for 45 seconds, tossed it around, got a good shot off, and we're going to get a turnover here. Damian Schultz with the ground ball pickup.
Yeah, he's got the stick for that kind of stuff. He's looking, and he's got good field vision, and he hasn't really decided where he's going with it yet. He protects the ball well, too, and he does work well in tight spaces. This could be a wide open shot for Stone. Save. Eagan possession, 6-5 Irish, 8:32 remaining, third quarter. Another lengthy possession here. We've probably possessed the ball the vast majority of quarter number 3.
Yeah, and it feels like a different game right now.
It really does.
We simply can set up and have an offensive possession and get a quality shot or a goal, or keep Rosemount out of our end.
Yeah, that's a really good start. Wilson's turning over on our end of the box. He's looking and going to go back up top again. They've had no problem as Gibson's kind of trying to find some space. He might have that shooting lane now.
That's
Big
a goal.
Save. That's
a goal. It snuck under there. It snuck
did.
under the goalie's legs.
That was a pretty quality shot, too, actually. It wasn't apparent what he was going to do. The ball was near the goaltender's feet, and it looks like we may have just tied this game up.
It looked like it kind of got under his feet or his legs, and it just kind of kept rolling. And when he looked around for the ball, it had floated in the net. The official's in position to make the call. And all right, we're 4 minutes in.
Number 9, Cole
and
Gibson.
The difference here is we have been managing to get possessions, and the game's being played in Rosemount's defensive end.
Yeah, and that is something that has clearly not happened extensively tonight, but it almost feels like it's the tale of two halves, and boy, have we preached that gospel this year. It's like here we are in quarter 1, it's all them, and then quarter 2, it's all us, and Rosemount with the kind of the cleaner face-off win. Gallus and Pavic trying to cause some problems. Donley marked up top. That's Donley, Thrall, and Merwin. On the defensive stick. Sorensen in the middle kind of protecting. Ball behind the Eagan net. But we clearly have controlled this early second half, and it's nice to kind of dictate the style of play occasionally. So far, so good quarter 3.
Yeah, and the one for sure positive thing from the first half, we did force some turnovers. A fair number. Got to carry that. Got to keep that. We can force turnovers against this team and keep them from scoring. Now, can we build up that the offensive momentum that we've set up here early in the third quarter?
Hintermeister with a stick caused another down ball, footing issue for that Irish player. But yes,
here comes a flag. Oh, nice save by Steele. Manny Steele in the game. It's going to be a penalty on the Wildcats. That was a big save, though. Manny Steele in the game for the second half, and we've seen that quite a bit this year where the goalies split halves.
Absolutely, it's nothing new.
And I don't know if the coaching staff is, extended evaluation and eventually going to try and settle on one for the section playoffs, or as we roll into sections, if we're going to see a 2-goalie system. I think both have performed pretty well this year, given the circumstances and the amount of time that play has been in our own end.
Yes, I would agree with that. Halfway through this third quarter, one thing that sticks out aside from the scoring, we have forced turnovers. So if those two go hand in hand, then I'm all for a little more aggressiveness with the sticks and getting that ball on the ground. And we've actually capitalized. I mean, we've done a nice job as Meisinger's trying to hold on.
Save
Big save by Steele. Meisinger trying to work his magic up top there. The shot did get off, Steele with a big save.
So we're not hearing penalty calls from the public address system, so sorry we can't. And we can't see signals because they're facing the other side of the field, so we aren't getting you a lot of penalty information. Normally at the home stadium, we have our assistant executive producer radioing penalties up and down Rich Mills, so we are privy to what's going on. And if we're not, he enlightens us, but we don't have that tonight, and we're not hearing anything from the public address. So
no, we're not.
Your guess is as good as ours.
Wide of the net. Cats still on the man down. Looks like Hintermeister on the sideline. 6:19 to go third quarter, 6-6 at Irish Stadium.
Now they're moving the ball around really well.
They are, but we do seem like we have an answer for that movement, which is good, and the penalty should be about ready to expire
I would think so too.
shortly.
It feels like it's been a minute.
Oh, nice save. Just got a foot on it, kind of the behind the head thing, which again we've talked about. Looks nice on film, and that might have been the only shot he had.
It looks like are we back at?
We are back at full
6
strength.
6 here.
Yep.
Okay.
So here we go.
All right, now's the time. We again, great man down there. Nice job keeping him to the perimeter. Just that behind the back kind of shot. This is a dangerous situation setting up here. Purfeast is looking to make his move at the net. And it connects with Luke Majewski.
So Cats give up the goal just coming out of the man down. Irish up 7-6, 5:28 remaining. That run of man down and goal did kind of break up a nice rhythm that the Cats had going here in quarter number 3.
Yeah, I mean, the first 4 minutes of the quarter, we had the ball, and then Rosemount, for the last 2.5 minutes has kind of tilted the field. Now a minute of that was man down for the Wildcats, but we gotta get back to how we came out of. I like how we came out of half. That was great. Got to get it back, right? We're 3-1 in the third quarter so far.
Yep, Pavic in the circle for the Wildcats to take this face off. Oh, big squirt in the direction of the Rosemount goaltender. They're not taking care of the ball real well. Looks like the Cats are going to come up with it. Pavic is going to retain. Now it's a matter of advancing the ball. Gets it over to Meisinger, who's looking, and he doesn't have a lot of options. I would have expected a timeout. We did not see one. We got the touch. I can't see. That might be Colbert working his way in. A little bit of a footing issue as he ran into an Irish player. And again, too, I think we're going to see this the pace of play slow down just ever so slightly while we look to set something up.
Yep, making sure we got our personnel set up and get back to the top and run the offense a little bit.
Jack Stone with the ball on top, looking.
Oh, there. Let's see if. Oh, we're going to be offsides there. A little.
But it's tough.
Oh, a push.
Wow.
It's going to go back. While Soren Thrall had just in his enthusiasm to make that play, just got his foot across the line, but a push called on the Irish will give the Wildcats the ball back. Boy,
Well, 4.5 minutes remaining, too, so Wildcats will start up. Cole Gibson going to bring it in. He'll set it up to Stone again, too. Not taking care of the ball.
Nice. Hey, wait it.
Good recovery.
Yeah, did you see that? How when he dropped it, he immediately used his body. It almost was like a basketball box out. Absolutely, Ken. Stone has played some basketball over the years. He boxed the player out and secured possession. Again,
that's actually huge.
Yeah, and it'll go on. It's a ground ball pickup that'll.
Yes.
Oh, nice work there. I believe was that Colbert?
It looks like Ryan Colbert, nice little spin move, and then found himself a shooting lane to retie this game up at 7. 4 minutes, 5 seconds remaining, quarter 3. Cats are now clearly back in the game, not only on the scoreboard, but they look like it's going to be the tale of two halves.
You know what you see? I mean, I'm going to go back to Stone's little box out there, and we're going to call it that because it's exactly what it. I mean, he got his. I wish we had camera. I could get down, but knees drop, butt down. Use your waist and hips and butt to back the guy out, and that's exactly what he did. And scooped up the ground ball, and it resulted for it was just about to become a turnover. It results in a Wildcat possession and a goal to tie the game.
Pavic fighting, and he kicks it out. Looks like Gibson's going to get the ground ball. Now he's got to find an outlet, but he'll take the stripe at the midline and probably push the issue for the touch.
There we go.
All right, so Cats got the advancement, and back up top to Stone.
I'm going to say one more thing about Stone's box out, then we'll let it go. So, you know what? Shakopee game earlier today, it felt like something like that wouldn't have worked in our favor. Stone would have slipped and fell. They would have got the ball. It went our way, and it resulted in a goal. Maybe you need a little luck in this game, right?
Clearly.
Maybe it's going to start to turn our way now.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you, had that ball not come out of Wilson's stick, he was poised to make a gigantic shot there. He really got himself into position. But again, just to get back to, as Rosemount gets the touch, just over 3 minutes remaining, quarter 3-7-7. That box out by Stone and that possession, ultimately goal, it's a very innocuous thing that could turn out to be pretty big as far as not letting that momentum get away from us.
Yeah, if some of those things can start to tilt in your favor and not go, like everything went against us in the Shakopee game, right? And then we couldn't capitalize on turnovers in Benilde, and earlier tonight we couldn't get things to roll our way, and it's like, okay, maybe we're past that now. There's a lot of game left to be played, and it's a tie game, but if you get those things tilting in your favor as a player, your psyche starts to change a little bit, right? Oh,
big save on the doorstep.
Save. Now we got to win that ground ball.
Raider back there trying to hang, and he might get there. No,
not quite. Hey, great battle by Cody Raider. Huge save by Manny Steele.
Right,
probably the biggest save of the night on either side.
So.
And so, again, good battle by Raider. Just couldn't quite get a handle on it. 2 Irish were on him. So, again, like the battle, like the fight, we're getting close. Let's see if we can get a turnover here and get
Gibson
get
with
it going
a little
the other
body
way. That was
and a ground ball. He's trying to retain possession. Looks like he's going to have another chance at it. He's going to clear. He's looking for Steele. Going down, he does. No push.
Boy, the footing on this field is terrible.
Steele to Joey Gallus, who's going to try to, he's looking for something, and it's going to be an advancing issue here shortly. Yeah, kind of an interesting exchange there. I think we were kind of holding our breath.
Yeah, like what's going to – and then the players were on that. You saw the ball hop on the field. I mean, it hopped like it was on concrete.
Yeah, no, this field has seen better days. I'm sure the grounds crew will have it ready for Irish football here in a few months.
I would certainly hope so. People would get hurt. I hope no one gets hurt tonight, or if the Irish host any additional home games this year. The girls lacrosse as well. This is just – not the best playing surface, folks.
So we're just about at the 1 minute mark remaining, quarter 3-7-7 here at Irish Stadium, as we got a little bit of an unabated run.
Jack Stone picks up the loose ball there. Yeah. Nice defense by the Cats. Hey, if we could convert here and go to the quarter break with a lead. Stone with a nice rip.
Yep, nice rip. And again, too, you kind of, as that play is unfolding, you think to yourself, do we protect the opportunity? And Stone got the shot, score.
It feels like what's working a little bit is we're mixing in a little running and fast break, a little more traditional Wildcat lacrosse. It's got the Rosemount defense at bay a little bit, and I think I hear what you're saying, Ken. Sometimes we got to be patient, but sometimes you take that down and go, and maybe the next time you dish it off to the attacks and let them get a shot or something. But I think you keep forcing it because it's throwing the Rosemount defense off. Their feet were frozen. They were flat-footed. If Jack Stone's run at you and you're flat-footed, you have no chance.
You're in trouble. Pavic in the circle, and we've talked about this, how we really haven't – we are convinced that we stack up very nicely against several of the defenses that we've faced recently. We just haven't given ourselves a chance to really push them. And Stone, coming down hard on you, that will – that creates some problems for any defense. So well done by the Wildcats. Their first lead of the night. And possession with the touch and 40 seconds remaining, quarter 3. That's Colby Sorensen up top, gets the touch, and he's kind of surveying the field, brings it across the field. That's Drew Wilson, I believe, who's over just in the alley there. Goes behind, is Schultz behind the net to the right of the goaltender. He's looking. Some of that short space maneuvering. Thought he was going to dish it off. He did, and a little miscommunication.
Get there. Colby Sorensen's going to get there, I believe.
And again, too, kind of an I was surprised that ball didn't skip into Apple Valley, given the fact of the field. Oh, nice. Oh, nice.
Oh,
wow.
Almost.
Kind of a one-timer attempt by Colbert as the pass inside was a little off.
Meekin kind of dove in there, and Colbert just tried to swipe at it and couldn't quite get a handle on it.
As time ran out. So here we are at twilight in Rosemount, 8-7. Your Wildcats on top here, 3 quarters in the books. Quarter 3, advantage Eagan.
Yep. Let's jump into the senior spotlight.
Senior spotlight.
And then we'll get back to the quarter. So we did Joey Gallus between the first and second. We're going to switch gears and do Drew Wilson tonight. Tanner Whips isn't playing in the game. So we're going to do Drew Wilson because he's playing here tonight. So 4-year member of the varsity program, made the team as a freshman, which is typically kind of unprecedented in this program. Freshmen normally don't make the varsity team. Was a contributor to that team. 4 years on varsity. Last year came in, had kind of a breakout season, putting up some big numbers. This year has certainly showed the state what he's really capable of doing coming in the game. 31 goals, 10 assists in 10 games, great numbers. So just a tremendous player, can create offenses. I know we saw a 7-goal game earlier in the season, an opening game against Chanhassen. I feel like that was his coming out party. Right? Like,
absolutely.
Hey, in case you don't know me,
Drew Wilson.
I'm
nice
Drew
to meet
Wilson,
ya.
yeah. So his parents are Dan and Kathy. Drew also played with the varsity hockey team, made the varsity hockey team as a 9th grader. Tremendous athlete. He played with the varsity hockey team 9th, 10th, 11th grade, decided to shift and just focus on lacrosse for his senior year. So he lists one his most memorable lacrosse moment is being with my friends and playing the game I love, pure and simple. That's fantastic. We've mentioned a couple times before, this year he's going to play at Long Island University. Next year it's a Division I institution out on Long Island. He's going to get a great a chance to showcase the kind of player he is, and you've seen some of the explosive moves and the shot, and in a game that moves really fast, I think he's going to be conducive to functioning in that environment. Wish him the best of luck there. Certainly he played some club lacrosse in the summer, did some great things there, picked up some great skills. So good athlete, quick release, one of the hardest shots in the state. Great contributions. So Drew, thank you for all you've done. We're looking forward to the next few games, and we wish you the best of luck in your academics and your lacrosse in the coming years at Long Island University.
Nicely done. All right, quarter number 4, Pavic with a quick Irish face-off win. Meisinger trying to get a little annoyant as Pavic is still kind of marked up here. Cats are up 8-7. That is a kind of a dangerous pass. A little hard to handle here. We are fully under cover of twilight at Rosemount Stadium. The lights are in full effect. Quarter number 4 just underway here, and we just talked about before senior spotlight. Quarter number 3, advantage Wildcats.
Yeah, again, that momentum, that moxie, that mojo, whatever you're going to call it, Eagan brought that out in the third quarter and won the time of possession. The key to the simple thing in the fourth quarter, we have to win the time of possession. And I think if we do, the result's going to work in Eagan's favor. If we let Rosemount do this for 9 or 10 minutes, it's going to be a tough go.
Well, we clearly took care of the ball in the third quarter, which resulted in some advanced time of possession, goodness for the Wildcats.
Yeah.
And we capitalized when we caused a turnover, which we did several of those. I don't know about that. Was a shot.
I guess so.
I don't know if it was right, terribly on, but the Irish will maintain possession as they will start us up here. Looks like that might be Gallus behind the net, really getting that stick in there and still maintaining some good footwork. There's a little bit of that foot issue, and that ball might be on the ground. There's a flag as well.
Seriously?
Yeah, I don't know that we've.
I'm not sure. Are they going to call a slash or a?
So it might be a hold if.
Okay. Oh yeah. When Pierfeast fell down. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean clearly I think the refs are they're kind of protecting the grounds crew because there's some things that are not happening as a result of a Wildcat intervention. But the Cats will go man down here with 10:38 remaining. Quarter 4, man down defense in effect.
I'm assuming this will be a 30-second, typically those holds. If that's indeed what it was, those are the 30-second varieties.
It is Gallus, and I do think it was a hold. But, yeah, we do have greater appreciation for one of our executive assistant producers, Rich Mills, as the Cats are trying to keep up with this. We've talked about this very crisp perimeter game on the man-up situation for the Irish.
Boy, yeah, they just, and this is what they were doing earlier in the
game.
There
you go.
Nice spread. Was that Thrall that broke that up?
It was a stick up by Donley, I believe.
Big save by Steele.
Yeah, that was a good one because that was actually kind of a tougher angle, and right now the light is changing, kind of a lower shot. Kind of a concerted effort here by the defense and the goaltender, as I think we are.
Now we're back
at full strength. Be nice to get possession or get that ball on the ground and get a little scrum going for it here.
Matt, when the Irish whip that ball around, it really seems to pick up the pace of the game, and I think it works to their advantage. And they were doing it early in the game. Man up, they're doing it. And now they're back spreading a little bit. Maybe trying to work a one-on-one here, right? That's what's going on.
Wide left shot is by number 18 for the Irish.
Sam Johnson.
They will maintain possession.
A good man down sequence there by the Wildcats. Just took away any dangerous potential plays and killed off that 30-second man down situation.
Danny Steele he just got right in that guy's face. Both of our goaltenders are pretty capable of kind of a dangerous pass there from Steele to Stone. That ball's still down. Maybe timeout Wildcats. Yeah, we don't have a lot of. We're trying to figure out exactly. No timeout, but it is the Cats' ball. Yeah, it's hard. We are on a flag.
Now, I think it's going to go against Rosemount. Judging by the reaction of the Rosemount cheering section in front of us.
Yes, I would agree. Sometimes we'll have to operate with the best we have, and so it looks like the Cats may go man up here. We'll have to wait and see. We have greater appreciation for our PA guy and our executive producer staff back at Wildcat Stadium because we are a little bit behind the times. Cats will have possession here. 9:19, quarter number 4. Cats with the 1-goal lead and possession. Stone looking. He goes over to Gibson, I believe, and back over to Wilson. We're going to work that combo platter here for a minute. That's Diffley.
Is this our first? No, we've had this with our second man up, I believe.
Second man up is Schultz is looking behind. Again, Cats kind of looking. A little fake pass there by Wilson to create some space. Gibson over, winds up in Diffley's stick from Stone, back to Stone. Spreading it out, slowing it down. Again, too, I think the Cats have clearly decided that time of possession has been a sore spot. We'll take the shot when we decide to take it, but we are going to make sure that it's our shot. Gibson looking. He'll go deep in the corner. I want to say it's Schultz possibly. Trying to create some space, and when he kicks it down to that gear, you know, he's got some intention. He's either looking to close space on a guy he's passing to, or he's going for the net.
Yeah, and that field vision is, I think, one of the things that makes him tough to defend is the field vision and the awareness of what's happening around him. You can't just assume he's going to take that to the net. He might, but he might be watching something clearly on the other side of the field, waiting for it to develop, and a pass might zoom behind your head, behind the net, in front of you.
Willery to Diffley. Diffley's looking for a shot. Wisely opts to just take it back up to the top corner of the box. He was looking, though. We've called Willery's name a few times. He got a nice pass off to Diffley, but they did collapse to him, and it's back up top to Gibson. We're under 8 minutes here, 7:40, as Gibson might have a shot. Never got through, I don't believe.
I think it hit a Rosemount player. I think it looked like it hit it maybe in the stomach or the leg or something.
Favoring a leg.
Yeah, he's hobbling there. That's number 6, Mason Wheeler. Yeah, he took the brunt of that shot. I don't know if you may be right, Ken, and maybe hit him in the leg. I heard a thud.
Yeah, he walked a couple steps off. We're going to get the trainers to come out. Possession is a little bit of an issue right now as we come out of this injury timeout.
Again, I suspect and hope the young man's okay. Probably just not going to feel good for the balance of the evening and maybe tomorrow morning. Those balls are hard and they hurt, and if you take a clean shot, you basically have no protection except for your helmet, and you get a little glove protection, but that hits you in the knee, the shin, even the quad. Yeah, he's just going to hobble off. Hopefully no serious injury. Just going to be a little sore.
It looks like the Cats are up top. I'm suspecting that Gibson has the ball. We come out of that little injury break. 7:29 remaining in this contest. 8-7 Wildcats with the ball. Looks like it's Willery has the ball over just outside the box.
So it looks like Eagan was, kind of slowing it down, being a little deliberate, waiting for the right opportunity. Good strategy. Still think when the opportunity presents itself, you run a little bit. Willery with a nifty move, creating some space.
Yeah, he did. He did dump it off behind the net, but he did create some space for himself. Wilson looking. Ooh, he had a pass kind of thwarted by the Rosemount defender. He did regain possession.
So Eagan looks kind of content to just sort of play around, play a little catch here, wait for the right opportunity.
Oh boy. Looks like Wilson, he's had an extended possession of the ball. He gets it behind the net. I'm going to go with Stone.
Another.
He lost his footing. The Cats clearly look kind of content, but they also looked a little confounded there for a minute.
Yeah, they did. It kind of looked like they paused and they slowed down, and it's sort of like they were in slow motion a little bit, and ball's bouncing all over the place here. I think we're going to get it back. It looks like, is that Gibson picking that up?
Oh, boy.
Finds Stone. And big save by the Rosemount. I thought that was a goal. That's usually those one-on-those. We had a couple of troubles with those on Saturday, too. We couldn't get it past Jack Keller, the Benilde goalie. So, hey, we maintained possession. No harm done, right?
No, we clearly got a nice shot off. And again, too, coming out of that last little confounding offensive series where we really didn't have a lot of outlet passes, we protected the ball. But we looked a little bit more confounded than we looked content, as Willery has a little trouble with it in his stick behind the net. Now he's surveying the land. That's Diffley to the goaltender's left. Looks like it is Schultz up top, Wilson in the center along with Stone. And I'm going to go with Gibson over on the far goaltender's right as Willery's trying to create some space. He's looking for a shot or an outlet pass. He does maintain possession, but he is just getting accosted, but he'll get the ball back yet again. Nearly, but it's going to go out of bounds on the Rosemount player. It's going to be Eagan ball.
Eagan maintains ball. Again, looking a little out of sync here, but at least we're keeping the position. We have an Irish player down on the field. That's number 1, Tyler Olson, the senior midi. I didn't see what happened.
No, it was kind of well behind the play, so our gaze was fixed further up the field. A lot of possession here, but clearly not a lot of. There was a little bit of ragtaggedness on the part of the Wildcats, but I don't think I ever saw them push the panic button when the ball would hit the ground unsuspectedly and things of that nature. So we are just over 5 minutes with a slim 1-goal lead. So far, the Cats have had a great second half. And what we're looking right now to see is that we can just kind of build this momentum, because clearly it is advantage Eagan in quarters 3 and 4 as we'll come out of this with possession.
So the player is being helped up. And he's favoring a leg. That could be an ankle, a knee, and this playing, and again, this isn't our job to talk about the playing surface, but it's terrible. And stuff like that is going to bound to happen. We saw a dangerous situation over here where Gallus slid like he was on concrete. You can just see it. The player could have rolled an ankle. Someone's going to get hurt.
No, just the fact that it was so far behind the play clearly indicates that it was him either trying to put the brakes on or change position or direction, and the field was the assailant in that last little slowdown for that guy. So,
so. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. District 196 maintains grass playing surfaces. That's not the norm anymore. Most of our peer districts around us have put in a turf. And when you're playing spring sports and that grass can't get grown, these fields are not going to be in good quality playing condition. And yeah, the players can handle it, but they can get hurt. You don't want to see that. And
no, the biggest thing is consistency.
Yeah.
And so while yes, the field surface can come in, as it looks like it's Meekin behind the net for the Wildcats looking. And again, they're content to slow it down, but that is not kind of how I don't think we drew that one up like that.
No, we didn't.
So we will turn it over. But no, to the point of the field conditions, yes, it's about consistency. You want to get outside earlier, but consistent playing conditions is safe for the athletes.
Yeah, and you can't. It's hard to get grass growing in Minnesota in May unless you're target field and you have whatever resources at their disposal to do that.
Magic.
Yeah, there's not here, and it's just, you know, look, it's not about the appearance. That it's about player safety and consistency and uniformity of the surface, and just a lot of conversation wherever you go around the district, and sports fans and parents. Nice save by Steele again. Pierfeast got the ball back.
Timeout Rosemount. Things were, I'm assuming timeout Rosemount. Things were looking a little, there wasn't a lot of options there, and they had the ball kind of snug to the goal, so that ball was hitting the ground shortly. So a good time to, probably a good timeout.
Yep. So again, it's a player safety. You look, there's boys lacrosse, girls lacrosse. We got to be on the field in April, and it's tough to grow grass. And what you see here tonight is dirt that's as hard as concrete. I would imagine the interior of the field is that way. It looks like the interior near side, the sideline here is, and I don't know what the other side looks like. But look, it's a lot of money. There's other things that are needed, but boy, it's just something you wish that you could see make happen, because so many of the districts around us and throughout the Twin Cities and even in the outstate areas of Minnesota have managed to pull that trigger and make that happen. So again, it's out of our wheelhouse. We can't control it, but it's our opinion, and clearly we have a box here to share that on.
Well,
so
and we get it. We see as much lacrosse as the next Eagan lacrosse fan, and the observations. You know, we are concerned about playability and safety.
Yep.
And not in that order, of course. But tonight we're making do with what we've got. We've got a 1-goal lead actually here late in this fourth quarter. 4:23 remaining. Rosemount with possession. They're coming out of a timeout as they were trying to invoke a little bit of offense down as the Cats are defending the north goal again here in this final quarter. And things just got a little snugged up, and I think they took that timeout just to kind of break up this kind of monotony of who's going to get this ball. And so they'll come out of this timeout, and we'll see what we can do. Meisinger looks like he's marked up on the ball carrier for the Irish as we get it underway here.
So big stand here for the Wildcats. Try to force a turnover, right? Steele's made some huge saves in this half, come up big 3 or 4 times. But again, keep forcing those turnovers that we've been able to do all game. A variety of Wildcats kind of getting in on the action. As Meisinger stays with him.
Boy, Meisinger, Merwin collapsed on him as well as the Rosemount Irish. It should be a.
Oh, it looks like Thrall.
Eagan Thrall.
There was a little batter there. Gallus kind of had 3 Irish guys tied up, and Thrall was able to come away with a nice play.
Yeah, we had a little defensive collapse on that guy and didn't give him anywhere to go. Nice job by Colbert.
Couldn't quite get it across there.
Some of that interior passing that we like so much, and the Cats might be Johnny on the spot again. A push.
It's a push. It's going to go Rosemount's way.
Well, we kind of saw that coming as we're sitting here 3:34 remaining quarter 4. Cats with a nice little nifty opportunity after some stiff defense and some real good hustle by Thrall behind the net to scoop that ball up. Rosemount trying to take the midline, and Wilson and Schultz put that ball on the ground, and looks like Wilson's going to come up with it.
Yeah, Wilson's probably going to get this one.
He does, and he's looking here. He's still got a shot at a score.
Nice rep. Hey, great hustle play there. So that started was that Wilson and Schultz over there on the far side of the field, collapsing on the LSM, forcing the turnover. Wilson stayed with it, got possession, patience, pulled up a little bit, regrouped, and got himself to an open area and got a shot. But again, it was similar to that, not similar in some ways. That first goal out of the second half, or was the second one where Merwin picked it up at the end. It was just a battle to force that turnover, and it started something good that happened there too. And in fact, this sequence started at the other end when Gallus had 3 Irish tied up deep in their end. Soren Thrall was able to get the ball. We talked about Joey Gallus earlier tonight in the senior spot and said he does these things that may not show up on the stat sheet, but they're these blue-collar hustle plays. I don't think that's going to show up on the stat sheet, but he created I guess it's a forced turnover. He probably isn't going to get credit for it, but he made it happen.
Otto with the face-off, getting it wide clear to the box for Colbert. So another nice win. We've seen 3 different guys in the circle tonight, maybe 4. Colbert's going to fight his way in and, again, create some space. We're at 2:52 remaining quarter 4. 2-goal lead for the Cats, 9-7. So you might see some patience, some deliberance off the crossbar from Colbert, Great job.
Nice ground ball pickup. Was that
Gibson? Not only a great ball pickup on the bounce, but he kept his feet.
Yeah, and that on this playing surface, you're going to get unpredictable bounces, unpredictable footing, and to have the presence of mind and use your body to get those things happening. Great ground ball pickup. Is it a push?
I think there may have been a timeout, Wildcats.
Oh, yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, the Rosemount faithful here in Section 2 are not happy.
No, they are not. Section 3-2, and they are clearly they did not like that call, but it was we've been really good with our timeouts as we have 2:22 remaining with a 2-goal advantage.
Boy, that is a pivotal timeout because it looked like that ball was about to go out of bounds, and now you can gather your players and say, all right, 2:22, what do we do now?
You had this great opportunity as Otto gets the ball pushed almost into the box for Colbert to pick up. Issue kind of starts to get some momentum off the crossbar. Wilson gets the rebound and just kind of starts to methodically kick into let's regroup. But some real tenacious defense by the Rosemount Irish got him right up against the sideline. That he was going out of bounds, or that ball was coming out, and Felter wisely called the timeout.
So, so a combination in the second half of fast breaks, sort of more methodical offense. I think with a 2-goal lead, 2:22, that's again a lot of time in lacrosse. I think you slow it down, be patient, be really smart. Take the shot if it's really good. You have a 2-goal lead. You don't want to turn the ball over right now.
No, I think right now what you've seen in this second half, and again, everything waxes, everything wanes, but the Wildcats are playing with a little bit of confidence right now. And, I mean, they seem sure of their mission. So whatever it is they decided they're going to execute in the second half, whether it be we have to win this game or we're going to win this game and here's how we're going to do it. The message seems clear as Gibson, or is that Sorensen?
That's Gibson, I believe.
Gibson to Wilson up top, looking inside, kind of a nice Johnny-on-the-spot move by Gibson.
Yep, they're smart move. He was thinking about shooting. It wasn't a good lane there. Just regroup, start over.
Just a minute 45 remaining, so things are starting to tick down a bit.
Yep.
A goal by the Cats here would just do a ton to kind of set things up as Colbert's creating some space. He is running into some problems over there in the corner, but he's a sturdy kid. He'll find himself, and he did find a nice outlet pass. Boy, patience, but pushing the issue a little bit inside
Damian
the stone.
Schultz comes.
Wow.
Was it Schultz that came away with it?
I think it was Schultz.
Or was that Gibson?
It was Gibson, yep,
yeah,
correct.
they're number 9 and 8. It's hard to see. So as you can see, the Rosemount defenders, as we get it to 1:15 here, are pressing and pressing and pressing, trying to force a turnover. I think that's going to go Egan's way. Yep,
yes.
That's Egan's way. It was off the defender.
Boy, I tell you, with 1:10 remaining, 2-goal lead for the Wildcats. Willery, was that a big save, or did that not connect?
It just didn't connect. So the pass connected. It just the shot wasn't there. Willery picks it back up. Now Colbert picks it up. The Rosemount, they're going to press. You got to move the ball. You got to keep moving. Sure hands.
There's a nice slash and a goal.
And Willery puts it in. So
that could just about do it, as the penalty will be nullified. I believe it's a slash against the Irish.
Yeah, and when they're at that situation where they have to, you can see they were pressing and pressing as Colbert and Willery were playing around with the ball and making a move back there. They eventually forced to take that slashing penalty. So, and
like we talked about how the Wildcats are moving the ball well and they're playing with some confidence. But boy, I tell you, nothing's come easy in that last sequence. The Rosemount defenders have done a nice job of pressing the Wildcats up against the end line and the sidelines and kind of making them work for every pass that they're able to connect. It is 10-7 Wildcats, 49 seconds remaining. Looks like Otto in the circle for the Wildcats.
Can a face-off win here could probably wrap this up. We're fortunate, our attacks can play that physical game, and they were both taking a beating, right? And they can hang in there and had a couple of almost oopses and turnovers, but we maintained possession, and Willery ended up getting the goal.
Otto with a nearly clean win. It's going to be a push and a little bit of contact. It's going to be Rosemount ball. That'll satisfy the folks in Section 3-2.
Yeah,
but Otto's a little slow to get up off the ground.
I didn't see what happened. There was kind of a push and a pop. Maybe he got stepped on or something,
Could
possibly.
be. Trainer comes out for a quick peek. Otto will get himself off. It'll be Rosemont's possession.
Who knows? There was maybe a 6-inch divot, and he twisted
Could have
his
been.
ankle
No,
or something.
yeah. Again, it's not, especially in the face-off circle and near the center of the field. It is a little snug. So the Cats are on defense here. 46 seconds remaining in the game.
So this is by no means over. You have to be smart. Rosemount's got Pierfeast as a guy that can score fast. You need to do this. Just don't force
Ball's
the issue.
on the ground.
Pressure them as much as they pressured us. Force them to make a play.
I'd say timeout Rosemount if I wasn't.
So yep,
35 seconds. So we've talked all year about a complete game that we need to put together. The Wildcats do, and it has been. We've fought hard to get that complete game all season long. I know that we've had some passing issues that have really come our way. Time of possession in the second half has been clearly advantage Eagan. One thing that you don't notice a lot unless you notice it for the wrong reason, the goaltending play in both halves have been very solid, and I think the defensive play looked confident. We've seen a number of collapses and slides that looked like they've gone advantage Eagan. Here we are sitting 35 seconds left in the game. 3-goal advantage for the Wildcats. A great second half coming out of a timeout. Will be Rosemount possession.
So it was 6-3 at halftime in favor of Rosemount, and we don't know what would transpire down at the track or behind the goalpost, but a different Eagan team showed up at the start of the third quarter, getting four pretty quick goals. It was 7-7 at one point, 4 quick goals, and it felt like you said, Ken, the time of possession just completely tilted, and the momentum of the game changed. So since halftime, 7-1.
Yep.
We're not home yet.
No.
But that mojo, that moxie, we don't know what happened over in that conversation, but we can guess what some of the things might be said. It looked like that Eagan team came out, particularly on the offensive side in the second half, and took ownership. And played with some attitude, right?
Well, we did. I mean, you hate to say fundamentals. These are some really talented kids on both sides of the ball, but we clearly there's a ball on the ground. Looks like Gibson and Merwin put the ball down as we're well under 30 seconds now. Going to be possession Rosemount.
From Egan's, we can take this. We can take balls bouncing around, clock running, because every second that ticks off, it makes it more and more difficult for the Irish to come back. Another big save by Steele.
He got a little stick on it, 17 seconds remaining.
Boy, that's probably 3 or 4 kind of point-blank saves in the half, so a lot of things working in Egan's way. And that's going to go to the Wildcats, I believe. Nope, to the Irish. It was deflected.
All right, well, I think it's pretty safe to say at this point that the Cats could very well hold on as we're under 10 seconds. Rosemount does have the ball. Cats with a little perimeter defense.
Nice save by Steele, and that's going to take care of business.
That is going to do it. Nicely done. Wildcat win here.
Wow, fantastic.
All right. So, again, Scott, we've talked about this team not really being able to establish themselves, and this could be a game that sets us up for the final run here. We came out in the second half. We protected the ball. We executed, and it may have been a gut check type conversation over in the end zone.
I think it was, Ken. I think again, I'm not questioning the effort of the players in the first half. They just didn't look like they were just the emotion, the drive, the moxie wasn't there. They came out in the second half and owned the game. They dominated. They mixed it up with some transition, big saves by Manny Steele, some nice 6v6 lacrosse, making things happen, picking up loose balls, getting the ground balls, forcing turnovers.
We saw face-off wins.
We saw face-off win. We had 3 in a row at one point.
Yeah.
We saw a number of people winning face-offs. 7-1 in the second half.
Yeah.
That's much better. Hopefully the Wildcats can carry this into Eastview game, and this is the first part of the Eastview game. And then if we win that, we have a big tilt next Tuesday, a week from tonight. But we got to take care of Eastview first.
Absolutely, and we did, and we had to take care of Rosemount before that. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. This is Ken. I've got Scott to my left. We got the support of Eagan TV. We're going to talk to you again on Thursday night, once again, with the help of our friends from Eagan TV, as the Wildcats take on the Eastview Lightning. And we will see you then, folks. So, again, thanks for tuning in.